Israel Adesanya has finally answered a lot of questions after beating Marvin Vettori. A lot of questions that maybe not many people asked, but I asked it. And there was a video that we posted. It got 12 dislikes, I think, at this point, and only like 10 likes. But the question was, is Izzy broken? Is Izzy the same after losing his first MMA fight? And it seems like he is not only the same, but he's actually better. He's actually better than what he was when he went into that Jan Blachowicz fight. A lot of questions that I had that came up was, is his confidence broken? Is he able to go in there and use that same game plan that he's been using against these aggressive aggressive wrestlers, or people similar to Marvin Vettori or Jan Blachowicz or Paulo Costa? Is he able to still implement that kind of game plan without being too afraid of that takedown? Is he working more on his wizards? Is he working more on that open cage, those open cage takedown defense? Is he working on his sweeps from the bottom? And I think the answer to all those questions is yes, he has. He was put into half guard by Marvin Vettori, and he was able to stand up. His back got taken by Marvin Vettori, and yes, if you from what I saw was the Marvin's arm was on Izzy's chin. It wasn't under. So the amount of danger that he was in that exact moment for that choke, I don't think it was too much. However, whenever you do have your back taken, it's a big thing, right? You could be there for 2-3 minutes and anything can happen. You can take strikes from there. There's other transitions to like an arm bar or whatever it may be, depending on how high level the other person is in jiu-jitsu. But Israel Adesanya really kind of displayed a lot more when it comes to what he's able to do and what he's developed in his game. The Jan Blachowicz fight was back in March, I believe, so it's not that too long ago. Another question comes into play. Did Izzy really get that much better, or was he always that good and Jan was just that good or that much better than Marvin when it comes to the wrestling, when it comes to the top game from the top game from the bottom, on the ground? So the real question comes into, or the next evolution, the next story that comes into my mind is Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya 2. Now I talked about this with my co-host. I said, if Izzy wins his next 2 fights, and if Jan wins his next 2 fights, or 1 or 2 fights, I think that Izzy versus Jan Blachowicz 2 could happen. And right now we're on track. Israel Adesanya has beat Marvin Vettori. The next person in line is Robert Whittaker. For Jan Blachowicz, he has Glover Teixeira in front of him, and maybe if Jan beats Glover, Izzy beats Robert Whittaker, we set up this huge rematch. And honestly, I'm very excited about it. I might make a couple videos about that right now and start that going. But for the time being, Israel Adesanya really showed that he's ready to come back, and he's ready to come back, and he came back stronger. He's not letting that loss get to him. He's not letting his game get changed. He's not, even though he got taken down in the cage, it really was, again, it was in the open cage, and that was the same way that he got taken down in the Jan Blachowicz fight. The difference is this time when he got taken down in the open cage, he was able to get up, and it wasn't with too much effort, but he was able to get up pretty easily. So Israel Adesanya, I feel, has gained a lot of fans with this performance. I think he kind of redeems himself from that loss, and he's only going to go up from here. This is all working to a rematch, and we'll definitely cover that whenever that happens.